Hi, I'm Cam Taylor with the Transitional Leadership Network. When Jesus looked out over the crowds, he saw people who were confused and helpless. And then he said to those that were with him on that day, "The fields are ripe for harvest, but the laborers are few. So pray to the Lord of the harvest so that he would send forth workers." There is a desperate need for labor hands, for workers who are called into the harvest that we call transitional ministry. Yes, there's laborers needed in all types of ways when we think about the harvest, but in particular in this area of transitional ministry, working with congregations that are between pastors, there is a need for workers to go into the harvest field. So in this video, I have an invitation for you to consider. Because I believe that God is wanting to tap on the shoulder men and women who he's calling into transitional ministry. And I want to give you 7 signs that you might be called into transitional ministry. Sign number 1 is agitation. Do you get agitated when you see a church that has lost its pastor for whatever reason and is floundering and really needs some help during their transition? Does that agitate you? Does that sort of get you fired up? I love what Frederick Buechner said, "Your vocation in life is where your greatest joy meets the world's greatest need." Do you get agitated when you see congregations that are looking for help during their transitions? Secondly, adoration. These are feelings or thoughts that I'm calling signs that you might be called. Adoration. Are you in love with Jesus' church? And do you want to see her be everything that Jesus desires for her to be? You might be called into transitional ministry because this work is all about working with the bride of Christ to help her become beautiful. And oftentimes, times of transition, the blemishes are exposed, but it's an opportunity to help congregations rediscover who they really are. Adoration, is that something that you feel so deeply? Adoration for Jesus and his church? Alteration. Does your heart beat a little bit faster when you think about the opportunity to make change, to help congregations navigate turbulence and figure out where they're going and how to get there? Transitional ministry is for those people that resonate with this desire to make alterations that are God-directed and Holy Spirit-inspired. The 4th sign that you might be called is compensation. To do this work, you need to have the margin, and I would say roughly so that you can work about 80% of the year and be able to survive during those periods of not working. Do you need compensation every single month and the stability of that? Then this ministry might be challenging. But if you have some margin emotionally and financially and relationally, then this ministry just might be for you. Now the 5th sign is anticipation. And what I mean by that sign is you are in your ministry, maybe you're a pastor or you're in another ministry, and you're looking ahead and thinking, you know what, I think a change is coming. I'm anticipating that I want to refocus my ministry and refocus the work that God has called me to. And I've seen this happen many times where people were anticipating what was ahead and they realized, I want to become potentially a transitional minister, coach, leader. Is that you? That could be a sign that you just might be called to this work. The 6th sign that you might be called into transitional ministry is accommodation. And this has to do with your ability to be adaptable to different situations. Transitional leaders need to have the flexibility and not be too rigid in their approach even to ministry and to leadership. Are you accommodating, not in a compromising way, but in a way that says, yeah, I'm flexible, I'm teachable, I'm always learning, I'm always developing new skills, this ministry just might be for you. And seventhly, the seventh sign is collaboration. Are you looking for a community of other leaders and coaches and pastors who are about change and about transition so that you're not doing this alone? Because there is a community for you so that you can work collaboratively and even in a team with somebody else in a congregational setting. And the other aspect here around collaboration is that those called to this work go into congregations not with a strong directive style of leadership, but with a collaborative approach to that ministry. When we go into congregations, we go and work with those leaders and with that congregation. You just might be called to transitional ministry if you really resonate with that approach and that style of doing ministry, a servant, coach-like leadership style, which makes one a very good transitional pastor. If as you hear this message, you hear God whispering to you, or you feel an urge or a nudge in your heart, I would encourage you to talk to somebody about this. Reach out and talk to myself. I would be more than willing to have a conversation with you to help you process what God might be up to and to tell you a little bit more about how we support those doing this work and what that even looks like. Or find someone else that can really help you discern what God might be up to in your life. I firmly believe, as I pray, along with you, that God will send workers into the harvest field, that He is in fact tapping people on the shoulders right now and calling them into this important work. And I trust that God will take these seeds and He will bring forth a harvest from them. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.